Friends, welcome to A to Z Learning channel. This video is about a book review. I've recently finished reading a book called The Courage to be Disliked, and I can say that that has been a thought-provoking, a life-changing book that I've recently read. So I thought of kind of putting together this video and sharing with you what is my summary, what is my thought on this particular book. So without any further delay, let me start the video. So first of all, let me share with you, when I picked up this book, I was attracted by its title, Courage to be Disliked. I thought that was interesting. Usually people talk about in the title something that is really, really encouraging. And here this book was suggesting that how do you want to have the courage to be disliked? It got my attention and I picked up this book. But now, having read this book, I can vouch the fact that this is definitely a single book that can change your life. Before we talk about summary of this book, let's first understand the context of this book. This book is essentially an extraction of Adler's philosophical and psychological ideas and teaching. Who is Adler? That must be the question in your mind. His full name is Alfred Adler. He was an Austrian physician and psychiatrist who founded Adlerian Psychology. This psychology is also known as individual psychology. He died in 1937, and you can believe that we are in 2023, so almost a century since he has gone from this earth. But his teachings, his philosophy, his ideas are still seen as gold dust in the field of psychology. This book has been set out as a conversation between a young man and a philosopher, where young men, like all of us, have got a lot of confusion in life, a lot of questions, basic questions where his confidence is down, he's not clear about what he's doing, he feels like shutting himself out and not at all interacting with anybody. He has got lots of ideas, he has got lots of plan, but he doesn't have that confidence to be out there doing the thing that he really loves. So he asks all those questions to this philosopher, and philosopher, in a very patient, calm manner, help him understand the reality, the situation, and help him answer the questions that are really bothering him, that are really kind of troubling him. Before I share my takeaway from the book, let me make it clear. I think that's a very, very important point. Let me make it very clear that this summary is not a replacement to the reading of this book. So please don't watch this video and think you have read this book and you've understood this book, because I myself have watched, I think, 10 different YouTube videos which are about the summary, and each YouTuber had a very different take from this book. So this is very unique about this, that because this deals with a lot of life questions, this book deals in a very simple manner, a lot of life questions. Different authors, different readers will have a very, very different take from this book. So my summary is my takeaway, and it is all about encouraging you to kind of go ahead and pick up this book and read for yourself and find what you find in this book for you. But I can assure you that you won't regret this, having done this, having read this book. And this book has sold over 3 million copies already. So this book definitely has got the content. It's broadly vouched and validated in terms of the key learning that you can have from this book. So I can tell you that this is one book which has the potential to change your life. So let's now talk about the key takeaways. I've got 4 key takeaways. So first one is, this book talks about that the all problems in life are interpersonal relationship problem. When I first read this, I thought, this is ridiculous. How can everything be down to interpersonal relationship? You have a problem of money, you have a problem of not able to buy the car, you have a problem not finding enough time to be kind of spending pursuing your hobbies. How can that be an interpersonal relationship problem? And I think the author, through this conversation between young men and philosopher, does highlight few things. For example, there is this, we all have this desire to be liked by all around us. We also have the desire to be recognized by others, etc. Our key issue that we are not free. If we become someone who does not care about others' recognition, others' impressions about us, then person can truly live as a free, and that will help the individual live a very content life, very joyful life. So therefore, this kind of takeaway in terms of all problems in life are interpersonal relationship problem is absolutely worth kind of as a key takeaway. The second thing, in my opinion, the book talks about, which is very, very unique, is that your past and future do not matter. I think you and I spend a lot of time justifying all the time that we are who we are today because our parents were such, or my upbringing was there because I was born in a humble family, or I was born poor, or I went to this school or that college or whatever. So we always have a justification in terms of what has happened in the past to justify why we are who we are in the current, or things that we can't ever achieve because of our past and all that. The book beautifully described that your past does not matter. You may be thinking about it all the time, but you have absolutely no ability to do anything about that. That has already happened. And similarly, you can't overthink about the future too, because that's not here. That hasn't come here yet. So you should not overthink about what your future will be. You want to become this, you become that, or your parents want you to kind of go to this college or that college. All those things are irrelevant. All that you have in control is here and now, and therefore overthinking about past does not help, as you can't do anything about it. Only thing you can do is here and now, so focus only on here and now. The third piece that I particularly liked and picked up from the book is life in general has absolutely no meaning, so don't look for one. Again, I thought that was quite thought provoking in the book, and the way the philosopher has brought this concept, I first thought that was ridiculous. You have to have a meaning because that will set the path for you, that will give you the clarity in terms of where you're heading so that you can progress towards that. If you have no way to find out where you are heading, you could be in the wild with you could be a directionless man. So therefore, um, I first thought that, but I stayed committed to kind of reading to this book, and I read it, and I felt that definitely it makes sense. Life is basically uh, has no meaning. You should not look for one. Don't try to find a meaning or objective of your life. Live in the moment. Live absolutely in the moment, and do what you must do here and now. Life is a series of moments. It's not a straight line. Most of the time, we feel that we kind of draw a line by saying that if you do XYZ over the next few years, then you will get to the destination that you have in mind. But life is a series of moments, and there's no use of destination. If Steve Jobs, for example, had thought about that dropping out of college will help him uh, uh, set up, build a kind of Apple empire, it would not have made sense. In hindsight, of course, the things that he could do after dropping out of his college all kind of became very helpful to him in terms of creating the Apple product that he created. But he didn't plan that way. It was not a straight line for him to kind of be attending those classes, which later on are going to help him. He lived in the moment. He did what he was doing, what he could do at that moment, and that led to kind of at a later point he realized that those things were helpful, but he couldn't think about those things when he was living those moments. So as long as you're doing what you must do here and now, you will get to somewhere and be happy about the whole journey and be happy about wherever you're going to get to. So don't look for a meaning in life, an objective of your life, because life in general has absolutely no meaning, is what the book suggests. The fourth and the last takeaway for me was that, which to very simply put, the author says that the world is simple and life is too. Most of the time, it's hard to kind of grasp the concept that the world is simple and life's too. We feel that it's so complicated, it's not predictable. There is always kind of surprises in the life. But if you follow this concept that world can be as simple as you want it to be, then and if you live a life in here and now, you find that people are your comrades, your team player, and there is absolutely no need to compete with anyone. And if you also think about the that impressions of others or others recognition is not important for you, and you're just focusing on the task that you can do, you're not worrying about the task of others, then life is actually simple. It gives you the courage to be disliked. And when you live life like that, you are truly speaking as a free person who has joy in every living moment, then then you will be a very happy man. So I think overall this courage to be disliked comes out so beautifully in this book, and the fundamental concept the author is sharing there is the world is simple and life is too. So just live like it's a simple life. Don't try to complicate, don't try to over plan these things. So these were the kind of four key takeaways that I got. But I believe me, if you kind of watch few other YouTube videos or few other content that's available on the internet, you'll find different takeaways from the different people. And don't get disheartened by that, because this book is got sea of information, and readers relate with the book in their individual capacity, and therefore the takeaways are going to be very unique and very different for different readers. So I seriously hope that this summary helps and encourage you to start reading this book, as believe me, it has the potential to change your life for good. So thank you so much for watching this video. And if you're not subscribed to our channel A to Z Learning, please do subscribe and become part of our viewers family. Thank you so much for watching.